Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to the Get Rich 101 show. Get Rich 101. So I'm your host, I'm Seiki Wrights, and today we got a special guest. In case you missed the intro, we got a special guest and a special new segment today. So welcome, welcome. I'm gonna give her a drum roll. Welcome, Speaking.
Hi, Sekou, right?
How you doing?
Thank
How you
you.
doing? How you doing?
I'm amazing now.
Okay. Okay. All right. So anyway, I decided to bring her on while I do my introductory stuff. So shout out to New Thought Radio Network for allowing me the space and the opportunity to grow. And they've been very helpful to me. And thanks for working with me as I work through my stroke. Right?
Mm.
Yeah, that's been an important part of me. And
Ashe.
Ashe, Ashe.
Yes. I'm going to lean in because I think the light is better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, so that said, am I hearing myself? Am I hearing yourself am I on somewhere else in your space?
No,
La,
I
la, la.
do have my speaker. I'll disconnect my speaker, maybe.
Okay, maybe. Anyway, so
Oh, very different.
huh? You come on.
It's very different, but as long
Oh,
as it sounds good on your end.
okay. So what I want to talk about was
Ooh.
it's so funny that I mentioned fiance files, and it was just just a little thing, this little thing. I was just referring to something, and I said fiance files, and you and a couple other people reacted to that phrase. So let me explain. So let me ask you, what was it that what was it that got you about me using fiance files? What got you?
Hmm.
Or what did it mean, or whatever? What did it mean that stood out to you?
It meant that you acknowledged me,
Mm,
you see me.
mm,
I have to tell you, Sekou,
mm,
as so I'm going to speak in specifics. As a black woman who has been single for a long time, however, I know a lot of married people, people in relationships, people who are engaged. In the past, I feel like there's a shift. However, in the past, oftentimes I would know that a man is married, in a relationship, engaged, yet he wasn't acknowledging it in public or on in the social media space. And
mm,
so whenever I would encounter, especially a black man who would acknowledge his significant other, I had so much respect for him because it spoke volumes about the respect that he has for his partner. When you said fiance files, I mean, for me, it was just, again, I felt acknowledged, I felt seen, and really valued by you. Yeah,
mm.
that's what it was for me.
Wow. I'm so glad I asked. I'm so glad I asked to get that full response is really key. And
Yeah.
apparently it resonated that way for other people. So it resonated that way for Corby Marks.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah, Corby. Corby was like, what's fiance files? I was like, nothing. I just was using the term. And he was like, no, no, no. You wait, what do you say? Wait a minute. I wrote it down. I copied and pasted it.
Are
It says you can factor it into a financial literacy, right? He said you can factor it into financial literacy, right?
okay.
So and then he gave me two examples. I'll read you both
Okay,
examples.
I'm
Okay.
ready.
Studies suggest the more a couple pays for their wedding increases their likelihood for divorce.
We're
I
on the
didn't
same
know.
page. I think we're on the same page with that, right,
Okay.
Sekou?
Yeah, yeah. The less they pay for their wedding, the more likely they are that their marriage will last. It says, but
Mm.
they cannot figure out why this is. Now, let me just say to the people that are watching, we have not researched this. We just talk about what Corby wrote. Like, I'm sure he researched it, but we've not researched it yet. I haven't done any Googling, but we should Google this and have something to say about it.
Yes, and that ought to be a part of Fiance Files. I love that because I think there's so many principles and so many rules, if you will, to partnering, whether it's marriage, whether it's living together, however you define your partnership. And so I think it's good to go down the rabbit hole and also seek the counsel of others. Firstly, seek the counsel of God and yourself, because everyone has an opinion, a thought, and that's why we're here, because we want to hear from people. However, the ultimate decision about how we choose to live this next chapter of our lives is up to Sekou and Fee.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And you know what I just thought of? I am about to turn this into a financial literacy show right now by changing the background to da 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 da. Yeah.
Oh, I love it. Oh, and I like how the yellow.
Oh yeah,
pops.
That's nice. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so he gave me 2 entries. Here's the second one.
Okay.
You can dive into how much you paid for Fee's Moissanite engagement ring versus how much that same ring would have cost if it was a diamond ring.
Yes.
Right?
That's good, Sekou. That's really good. I love that because I had not thought about that. I just liked, again, I liked the title, Fiance Files, and I liked how it made me feel. Again, appreciated, valued, and seen. Every woman needs that, not just from her partner, but in the world, from her girlfriends, her homegirls, from her siblings, her family. And I think every man needs that as well. And then the financial literacy part, I think it's really powerful when couples are on the same page, or at least within close proximity. Maybe you're turning the page and I'm already there, but you're turning it, so you're getting there, and vice versa, because we're doing this together. And one of the things that they talked about on the radio station just yesterday, and I've heard this many times, is the top 2 reasons why marriages fail is because of finances and communication.
Finances and communication.
And I thought about you.
Okay.
Because you communicate really well, and you are a proponent of therapy, which is unusual. It's unusual.
Go ahead.
You grew up with knowing that therapy was a part of your normal evolution, if you will.
Yeah, let me just pop in right there. For people who are watching and don't know what she's talking about, see, my mom was a psychologist before I was born. So I was born into a psychologist family, and a child doesn't know anything different about how they're brought up. It's like, hey, I gotta go talk to this person. I gotta go talk to this person. You know what I mean? Like this is what I grew up with, and I had some trouble at home. I have to go talk to a friend and sit in his office, and I was in therapy. I was in therapy from a very young age, and up until I got to like college, and I asked somebody, I was like, hey, so you're going to go see somebody? Going to go see somebody about that? I was just acting in response to something that he said. He was like, what? And I was like, what? This whole thing. I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean you're not going to see somebody? He said, what do you mean I need to see somebody? And it turned into this big brouhaha. And I was like, wow. That's when that first became a thing that I knew was a thing. Like I knew that the way that I thought about therapy and talking to somebody was different than most. But all throughout college, I mean, I was going through therapy, and that just my part of who I am. So that's what P. King was referring to, folks. That like that was my life. That's simply my life. So yes, go ahead.
I remember when you shared that with me, how in the past, when you were in a relationship and you all hit a road bump, speed bump, your first normal reaction was, we need to sit down and talk with someone, and how women were just not feeling that. And I thought, oh my gosh, what? I would love that. And I didn't grow up that way at all. Like, I grew up in a very functional, dysfunctional household, family, just culture. And talking about your feelings was not normal. It was not. Um, it was not suggested that you do that. It was very much so, suppress everything, push everything down. And so when I sought therapy for myself, I never even shared it with anyone. I mean, for decades, because it just wasn't a part of it wasn't even a part of my culture. And I just thought, oh my goodness, this is a Black man who actually can admit that he needs support, that he needs the guidance of someone else. I am here for that, which is why we've collectively decided that we are going to do premarital counseling.
Right.
And I've heard other women talk about that, and their partners are like, so what are you saying? Like, what's wrong with me? And I'm like, it's all about what's right with you. It's preventative.
Right.
Like, oftentimes we'll go see the doctor because we're sick. Whereas if we take care of ourselves and use preventative foods, exercise as medicine, then we stay ahead of the game. And I feel the same way about premarital therapy,
Yeah.
premarital counseling. Yeah.
Yeah. So excuse me for hogging up the therapy, because you've been helping me with this the past few days. You've been helping me find a therapist, and I've been looking for specifically a neurotherapist. Like, I don't know if that's the right term, but I'm looking for someone who can talk to me about neurological issues, because I will just say briefly that it's been hard. It's been hard, and I know, because you see me on the show, you expect that Sekou's fine. Yeah, not so much. Not so much. I'm having to deal with some real things. And so aside from that, we also need to have our own what's it? Couples therapy. Couples therapy?
Yes.
Couples therapy. Yeah, and really kick the door down. And so shout out to you, Mom. Shout out to you, Mom, for raising me around therapy. It's just like, I was just so fixated on that way of thinking. I had no idea it was unheard of. I had no idea. So shout out to you, Mom, for
I said that to you when you shared with me that you grew up that way, and I said your mom is so evolved. I mean, she's so evolved. And shout out to her. Kudos to Mama Sekou. Thank you, because I think, and I'm not a parent, but I think when you're raising your child, at some point, I hope that parents are thinking, I want to set my child up for relationship success. I want them to be a good husband, a good partner for a woman. So let me do my part, right, to set him up for success, because it just makes you a better partner for me.
no shade for you. Only for you. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So I just want to comment on this comment that we got. Let's see.
Okay.
My husband and I had a gathering of friends and family for a potluck with a wonderful break for our wedding ceremony. It was perfect for us. Oh, wow. That's nice.
Oh, hey, Linda, in the mountains of Colorado.
In the mountains of Colorado. Is it snowing out there? It's snowing out there, Linda? Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
That is really nice.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that, Linda.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, where was it? Oh, so the ring, the ring. So we've talked about the ring a bit.
Mm.
But let's talk about it a little bit more because, yeah, let them know, let them know, let them know. So it's so funny that there are multiple stories about this ring. There are multiple stories about this ring. So the first is the one that just came up recently. So we haven't talked about this one on social media yet.
Mm.
Right? So that ring that Shafi King just showed you is my second ring. Is a second ring. It's a second ring. So,
Right.
so, so I got her a moissanite ring, and the person I dealt with was all zen, all calm, all love. Like, yeah, brother, we're gonna get you the great ring, brother, and all this wonderful energy. And then she vanished. And she vanished. The closer we got to the marathon, I was like, yo, when are you gonna send a ring? When are you gonna send a ring? And I kept asking, and no response. No response. I was like, oh no, because I really wanted, as I didn't mention, to propose in the final steps of that race, of the last marathon. The
I
final
think,
race.
Sekou, I think you ought not glaze over that. Share with people what that is, what your initial plan was, because not everyone knows.
Okay, so my initial plan was that V and I were going to walk the marathon together, right? We were going to walk the marathon together, and at the end, I was going to stop her right before the finish line and propose to her. Right? That was my plan. That was my plan. But the closer it got to the day for the marathon, the more I was worried about her because she wasn't responding. And I was like, yo, what's up? Because she was I'm telling you, she's all zen and energy. And then there was this silence. I was like, something must be wrong. So anyway, I found another ring. I got another ring. And don't you know that new ring, the one that you're wearing, is perfect. It's perfect. So much so that when I got the ring that I ordered, it wouldn't even have fit. It would not even have fit. Like if I'd waited to get the ring at the right time, it wouldn't even have fit. And so I appreciate the Lord for looking out for me, for showing me the right ring, to get the right ring. And so that's what happened. I mean, for those of you that don't know, V King left the race around mile 15, right? Mile 15? 15?
Yeah.
And I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do with this ring? Because I had the ring in my pocket. As I was walking, I was like, oh my goodness. So when Rev Mel joined me, and I was like really distracted. I was really distracted. It was just her and me talking. Everyone was gone. Everyone was gone in that section.
It was dark. The cleaning crew was out there. I was like, y'all are so rude. We are still in a race.
Yeah. The trucks were saying, get out the way, like all that.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't want to take up too much time, but that was a really interesting period of time. So that ring that she's wearing right now is her second ring. Yeah.
And so listen, fam. Sekou and I have been doing, we are in a long distance relationship. I was just in New York City for New Year's Eve. I saw this box that said, what is the name of the company, Sekou? Pretty?
I don't even know, but it says something pretty something.
It's a jewelry box, like a ring box. And I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what is this? So he tells me this whole story. I'm just learning this story literally a week and a half ago. And do you know, I wasn't even tempted to open the box and look at the ring because I said, you know what? It doesn't matter. Right. My concern though was that Sekou paid for it and he's not going to return it for his money back. That's where Sekou and I differ because I'm really big about, let's get the money back. And then I said, you know what? If he's not worried about it, I'm not worried about it. We'll figure out what to do with the ring or not.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. Because so for me, there's two moissanite rings, right? Moissanite is a fraction of the price of a diamond. Now, if this was a diamond ring, I'd be like, hey man, I'm gonna need that money back. I'm gonna need that money back, right? But it was a moissanite ring, and so I kept it as a reminder. Kept it as a reminder of all that I went through trying to get this right ring to your finger, and the universe guided me to getting the right ring at the right time. I mean, that was beautiful.
If only, if only we, you know, we ought to trust more. That's the message for me, is trusting more. And then also, this ring is so unique. It is so unique. It fits my personality. I think it fits Sekou's personality. Also, while it may be a fraction of the cost of a diamond, it's far more sturdy and has a longer lifespan than a diamond. And it also, the brilliance, the shine of the stone is far more brilliant than a diamond.
Right.
By the way, what I love about this specific stone and this ring is that Sekou listened. Again, it's all about being seen and heard, because oftentimes people will do things based on what they want. So sometimes a man will get a ring based on what he either wants or thinks you want. Sekou, you actually listen. He knew I didn't like diamonds. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
He listened. And we talked about,
I don't think I mentioned this either, because I was going to make a diamond ring for you based on, I was going to use diamonds from my family, and I was going to have them assemble that into a new ring for you. And then I heard you. We talked about it, and you were like, yeah, I don't really like diamonds. I was like, huh. So I'm gonna have to do something different than what I usually do. You know what I was thinking of doing. I was like, I'm gonna have to do something different. And that's when I thought of ding. So for those of you that don't know, I've been a jewelry designer for a long time. And in the space of that jewelry design, I discovered that diamonds are not valued. They're not valuable. That they're not. That they are pumped up for their
marketing promotion.
Yeah. The marketing work. Thank you, Fee. The marketing promotions are pushed up by this company, and this company just saw a way to deal with it and raise the price of diamonds worldwide
Exponentially.
It's crazy. I was like so shocked by that, and I was like, wow, that's really interesting. So I was lucky to find you. And you were talking about, I want a diamond, whatever. But that reminded me, because my memory has been weird. You know, I get introduced to something, and then my memory slowly picks at that, and then it expands. Mm-hmm. So you mentioning that got me into moissanite, because I had studied moissanite before, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, that reminds me of moissanite, and that got me back into it. It got me to reach back into those tiny things,
those memory spaces,
like that,
memory spaces. Yeah. And I didn't know that you knew about masonite. First of all, I never heard of masonite until you bought me this ring.
Oh, so yeah.
You're just getting so many good points. For me, when we talked about rings, which, by the way, y'all, we talked about rings kind of, in my mind, I thought it was just in passing. This was about 2 years ago. I remember saying that I like a tattoo. So for me, I thought if I ever got married, we would get tattoos on our ring finger. So I never, did research on stones that were not diamonds, but they were precious and had value. I love my ring. I love my ring so much.
So let me just put this in there. So I don't remember that conversation at all.
Oh.
I don't remember that conversation at all. Talking about tattoos, like, I don't remember that at all. But what I remember was you talking about not liking diamonds sub after the stroke. After the stroke. Like something in something you said after the stroke hit me. And I focused on that. Focused on she's focused on a ring that's not a diamond, and I focused on that, and then that expanded me to the Masonite and the other things that I knew about the things. Because even though we had that group, that gratitude
Gratitude.
group, the
Mhm.
gratitude group,
Yeah.
my memories of that are still are still small
Yes.
compared to my post act my post uh
Short memory.
yeah
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
my yeah my
It's okay. We
okay
get it. We get it.
okay
Yeah,
yeah
but we had a whole conversation, Sekou, about diamonds, marriage, rings, what I liked outside of our gratitude group.
okay
Yeah, once we started dating, when you would come up to Baltimore when I lived in the other place, it's fine.
mm,
It all worked out. I'm just grateful that you remembered me, right? That
yeah. Yeah, no, I remember you saying that you didn't like diamonds, and that made such a difference. And I'll just post this in.
yeah.
And what happened was, because it was going to cost me much less to do it as a moissanite ring
Mhm.
than a diamond ring, I was like, well, what am I going to do with the extra money? And I got you your laptop because you were looking for a laptop right there, and I was like, well, sure, let me use that money for a laptop, and that was right on time for you to receive your laptop, right?
Again, you listen. And what I'm also learning about you, because we talk about the love languages, the 5 love languages. And one of my love languages, uh, out of the 5, my 3 are, and I oh no, I left the book with you. Oh, because I was going to grab the book, but you have my book.
Okay.
So it is acts of service, acts of service, acts of service. Some women, it's gifts. Mine, I like gifts, don't get me wrong, but it's really acts of service and affection and I forget the other one. I know it. It's but acts of service. And I said, what I love about you, Sekou, is that you listen and you will come in and fill in the gap because I needed a computer. It's not that I wanted a computer. I did want, the need was greater than the want
Mm.
because I was about to be without a computer. And I just said, I'm going to trust the universe. I refuse to panic. All things are working in my favor and on my behalf. And then you presented me with this computer that I have, that we're doing your show on. And I thought, and for me, it was like God was saying, if you would just trust me more,
Mm.
you would just trust me more.
Okay.
I got the wheel. And I was like, okay, I'm getting there. I'm better than where I was. And so thank you again for my computer and my ring.
All right. All right. Well, that's a good ending note. That's a good ending note. So thanks so much, people, for coming out. Let's try, well, as much as we can with your driving ability. Like, let's try to keep the fiance files going, and let's keep going and look at these things Corby asked us to look up, and figure out. Let's just figure out a thing. A thing.
Corby, Corby, thank you so much. Sekou, I know it's time to go. I just want to make one really quick announcement, or I have a question for your audience because I thought about this
Mm.
years ago. If I got married, who would walk me down the aisle? And so I have a question for your audience. Who do you think should walk Fee King down the aisle? Because my father is no longer here, right? And so who would that person be? Would it be a close friend? Would it be a cousin? Would it be an uncle? Who would that person be?
Okay.
All right.
Let's go think about it. Let's put our thinking
Let's do
caps on. Put our thinking caps on. Okay, so thanks for coming. Thanks for checking out our show, our very first Fiance Files show. All right, and remember that now is better than perfect. And did I say it? Now is better than perfect.
Yeah.
Now is better than perfect. Ashe. See you later.
Bye.